Hi, I'm Kurt Steinbrook with OurChurch.com, and this is your SEO update, keeping you informed on what's going on in the search engines. We're going to go ahead and start with Google, because they have the most things going on, though there's no changes to their algorithm. So no changes to how they're ranking websites, but there are changes to the features that they're offering and how they're displaying some of their search results and things like that. So the first thing is that Google has released a new guideline, which is stop blocking CSS and JavaScript files. Now in the old days, Google and Bing, their bots, their software that goes around and looks at the web, they weren't able to understand these files. And so a lot of people started blocking them because they would use server resources by trying to access those files even though they couldn't actually read them. So people started blocking them. Well, their little bots, their little software programs have really evolved over the years, and they're now able to render pages pretty much like a web browser would. And so now that they're able to, they want to be able to do that, and they're finding that in a lot of cases they can't because people are blocking them. And so they're saying stop blocking them because we want to be able to render these pages the way that they're supposed to look. And they even said that if they can't, and they can't render the pages right, then that might affect your rankings negatively. So you might want to check into that, make sure that your CSS and JavaScript files are not blocking or not being blocked from Google being able to get to them. Another change that Google's done is in their Google My Business. Google My Business is kind of the local dashboard for like your Google listings and your Google Plus local page and things like that. And they've added a new feature where they will show you reviews right there in the dashboard. So you don't have to go on to your listing and keep looking for reviews. They're right there to view in your dashboard. You can even respond to them right there in the dashboard. So it makes it a little bit easier of a user experience. And they will also notify you when you get new reviews. If you're just using the online version, then you have to go log in to see that. But they also have an app that you can get that will notify you on your phone, your tablet, or whatever mobile device you've installed it on. So that makes it real easy to be able to track when people are posting reviews and then respond to them. Because dealing with reviews isn't just about, hey, I got a new one. It's also now respond to it. Say, hey, thanks for leaving this great review. We really appreciate it. Or if it's a negative review, address that, and help them turn that experience into a positive experience for them. At the same time, you're showing other people that even if you have a bad experience with us initially, we're going to go the extra mile to make sure that you had a good experience in the end, and we're going to take care and respond to that. So that's a cool thing to be able to check out and help you to be able to keep up with your reviews, and hopefully you're going out there and really trying to get those reviews. Another thing that Google has done is added a new feature called their Mobile Usability Report, and they added that to Google Webmaster Tools. What this does is it shows you how you're doing as far as a mobile user experience, at least what Google thinks is going on. And this is really important because more and more people are using mobile devices these days, and they really need to have a good experience when they're on your website. And of course, Google knows this too, and so they don't want to send people in their search results to a bunch of websites that don't display well if they're on a phone. So Google has even said if your website isn't very responsive to the different sizes of screens and you're not giving a very good user experience for mobile devices, then they're going to lower your ranking in the mobile search results because they don't want to send people to a bad experience. So it's something you want to look into. So go into your Webmaster Tools, check it out, see how you're doing. If you're doing great, awesome, keep it up. If you found some problems, you really need to look into fixing some of those things. And some of the things that it will show you are is the text too small that it's hard to read? Or are your links too close together that when people are trying to click, they're going to have trouble? Because when you're with a mouse, you can get pretty precise, but when you're trying to push with your finger on your phone, there's not a whole lot of precision there. If things are too close together, it can lead to a bad experience. So things like that, whether the page is adjusting to the screen size and all that. You want to fix those issues if you find them. And quite frankly, if you have an older website, it's several years old, I'd encourage you to even look into getting a whole new redesign because technology has changed so much and user experience has changed so much. A lot more people are using mobile these days, and back 5 years ago, websites weren't really built for the mobile experience because there wasn't a whole lot of people using that. Now it is. And so you can get a whole new website that'll work really well on the mobile devices as well as desktop, and it will help people in their user experience. Plus, you've got a lot of new features and it'll probably speed up your website and everything else at the same time. One other thing for Google is that it looks like they're now starting to remove their local carousels. If you remember from a few months ago, they started to play around with these pictures up across the top of their results when they had local results. And it was pictures about the local results with the names of the local organizations. And that was what they called their carousel. Well, now they're starting to take those down. Looks like it didn't go as well as they'd hoped. But they're trying something new, which is kind of a combination between that carousel and the local pack or local results, where you see the local listings, but then they also have the pictures from the carousels and a little more information there. So that's a new thing that they're trying out. There's still some user experience issues that I think they're probably going to be fiddling around with that for a little while. But they continue to try to find better ways to be able to show those local results. So that's it for Google. In other search news, DuckDuckGo has been added to Firefox, which is a browser, to their privacy enhanced options. DuckDuckGo is what they call the privacy engine because they don't track people, and they've been making a lot of inroads lately. They got onto Apple's operating systems, and now they're in the Firefox. So they keep making advances. They're still small, but they're pushing and they're making some good moves there. Facebook, they also unveiled their new Facebook Places. They're trying to now get into that whole local listing and reviews scene, and so they've launched this Facebook Places. Now it's still in its infancy, so they're still trying to figure things out and they're still getting it going, but it's certainly something to keep your eye on. And if you have a local Facebook page, then you're probably already in that directory as long as you are in one of their the cities that they have at this point, or the categories that they have. And that's how you can really tell that it's in its infancy, because they don't have all the categories and even all the cities that you would expect a local listing site to have. But if you are a local organization and you don't have a Facebook local page, go make one. It's a good thing to be on Facebook, even if this directory isn't all that helpful yet. And plus, when it starts to be a little more helpful, you'll be there. Other than that, there's not really anything else going. Bing didn't really have any very interesting news. The only even slightly interesting thing is that you can now search with emoji, which are those little symbols and pictures. It didn't really mean anything to me, but maybe you like to search by emoji. I don't know. But we live in this internet age, so it's important that you stay strong in the search engines so that you can achieve your mission online. And hey, we're here to help you do that. God bless.